So this week I had my first experience at TIA. TIA is a women's health clinic, and if you have one near you, or even if you have to drive a little bit far just to experience, I feel like every woman should experience this clinic. When I tell you it was the most, the most joyous experience I've ever had going to the doctor for an annual exam, it really was that. I've had so many different experiences with doctors over the years, over the last, 6-7 years of dealing with my fertility journey. And there's been some good and there's been a lot of bad. But this, it's so hard to even explain what I felt, but I just felt so good and like I was supposed to be there. I was welcomed there from the very beginning of walking in. There's this book wall of books that discuss women's reproductive health or just women's empowerment, empowering us to know about our bodies and about our whole body health and being able to take charge and be advocates for ourselves and be able to share that knowledge to others. I did take a picture of that wall because I was like, I need to read every single book on this wall. But anyway, I didn't know what to expect walking in, but I started my first appointment online actually. So they have virtual appointments, but you could also go in. But my first virtual appointments were great. I got to speak to Black women that look like me. Those were my first appointments with two beautiful Black women. Why is this so important? Well, I don't get to see it, sometimes when I'm dealing with my insurance, I go online and I'm not necessarily looking by race. I just want to find a good physician. And I do comb through like ratings and experience less levels and qualifications and not qualifications, but like degrees and how many years they've had the degree. I comb through a bunch of those things when I'm looking for a doctor. But this, I just let go, and I felt good from the very beginning of booking my first initial appointment. And I got to see two Black women, and I was like, wow, this is so amazing. This is so exciting. And they were so sweet. They were sweet, but also about their services, very assertive. They took care of me. And I don't even normally like virtual appointments because I do feel like physicians need to see me. I've just kind of been that person to want to be in person, to have doctor visits. And some of them I get it, like yes, there's certain situations where yes, you need to be in person, but to have my initial conversations with these two beautiful women, these two beautiful nurse practitioners online, it was great. It was great. So I already had a good feeling about going in. Then I went in for my annual exam this week, and like I said, when I walked in, saw the books on the wall, they checked me in, I filled out one form, they called me to the back, showed me around the exam room. They were playing music, y'all, like R&B music. I think Kali Uchis was playing in there, music that I love, that just made me feel like I was at home. And then they showed me the closet that has a robe inside. Not the little paper robes or the little napkins or whatever that they tie together to put on your body. This was a real soft robe, and it was cute. I actually want to buy one. And then they had these socks that said, inhale, exhale. I have video of this too, I'm going to show you. But the robe was like nice and draped, and I felt cute going to get my exam. But I looked around the room, I videotaped the room a little bit, and then I put my robe on, and they had like women's sanitary pads and tampons if you needed them, a wipe, whatever you needed to make yourself feel comfortable and at home. It was just nice. It was pleasant. And then my doctor walked in, And she was so gentle, and she was nice, and she was kind. And she took her time explaining everything that was going to happen and who she was, and what I was going to experience at Tia. And even though I've gone through these visits, going to go get a pap smear, and getting my annual, I've gone through so many of those to where I go in and I'm on autopilot. I'm numb to the situation. So I go ahead and do what you need to do and finish the thing so I can get out of here. But when she started talking to me and she had this very like calm, chill voice, I was like, wow. And I kind of teared up a little bit. She didn't see it because I was trying to hold it together. But my eyes started like watering up because I was like, wow, they see me. Someone sees me and cares about me as a woman, and making me feel comfortable enough to be in the doctor's office. And I think I waited in that I waited in the waiting room probably like maybe 10 minutes. And then once I got into the exam room, I waited about maybe another 10 minutes for the doctor to come in after the nurse had taken my vitals. Usually I'm in the room for like, I don't know, it feels like an hour before someone comes in and it's cold and there's no music playing. We just gotten used to those environments. But one of the things that I thought about, I was just like, well, Tia, it is a membership plan. They have different subscription options, but they do have a free option though too, and that's what I'm on right now until I decide to pay for the annual fee, which provides some other services like acupuncture and facials, and there's just some other perks to it. But my insurance is going to take care of the annual exam, which is a requirement on many insurance plans. One of the things that stood out the most was I am going to start doing some fertility testing to continue on my way through my fertility journey, or my journey on conceiving a child. So I just threw the question out there, even though I knew the answer to this because I've been through it. I just said, hey, can we do all my labs today? Do I need to come back for, my fertility lab work? And she mentioned that, no, I'm going to come back because she explained how on certain days of my cycle, I will have to do those labs. But also when she talked about how they build insurance and how insurance tends to deny claims if you put like too many labs in, especially like fertility work and stuff, and combining fertility testing lab work with other lab work, the insurance will deny. And see, they're so aware of that they don't even put it through. In the past, I've had physicians combine things and they've been declined, and then I've had to like fight to try to like figure that out, and have paid crazy amounts of money out of pocket, because the doctor either just really didn't know and wasn't in tune with the billing, or just really didn't care enough. And in those situations, I've just been a number, and no one's really been fully vested into my care. And so that's why I teared up a little bit, because I was like, oh, she sees me and she sees the situation and understands insurance, and it's just catering to women's health and our needs and our reproductive health. I am so excited. Just if I ever need anything in relation to my health, I'm going to them. It was amazing. It was just an amazing experience, and I was so excited. I had to come home and tell my husband all about it. But go ahead and take a little look-see and see what I got to experience. I didn't record my exam because y'all don't need to see or know all of that, but I did record what it looked like going in there. Super cute. Tia Women's Health. Look into it.